Ladies and gentlemen, he's here, the one and only, one of our favorites, Robin Thicke.
Is in the building.
Album day.
We're popping bottles and it's album time. I just bought the album too. What's your favorite song on the album, Robin? Like the one you want? I mean, obviously, Get Her Back is out there.
Yeah,
and we love that song.
Well,
but
you know,
if I could play anything right now for the people.
Oh, living in New York City, man.
Living in New York City.
Oh yeah, that's.
All right, let me bring that up because I just
pulling this up right now, Ebro.
Yeah, why not?
That's my James Brown joint.
I'm living in New York City. I'm living in New York. I'm living in New York City.
What you're listening to right now off the new Robin Thicke album, Paula. Do you live in New York City, son?
No, but I spent a lot of time here. I wrote this song because she said she wanted to move to New York City.
Really?
So I was like, it looks like I'm living in New York City too.
So even the songs that aren't directly about her are influenced by her?
Yeah.
That's sort of the deal.
Yeah.
But what percentage would you say are directly about her?
Well, you can kind of I go back and forth. I'm talking about her, and then I'm speaking to you. So sometimes it's about her, and sometimes I'm talking directly to her.
And then sometimes you're talking about yourself. I went through some tracks on there where you were talking about your own dark clouds and demons. And do you, in the situation, and let me just be honest, I was skeptical.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, come on, this is promo. They're never going to break up. They've been together 20 years. Even if he does something stupid, she's not going to leave him. She may not talk to him for a couple months, but where's it going? Is it real? Like you guys is... Dunzo is finished.
Yeah, man. You know, I mean, I try to keep most of that private, but I haven't seen it for 4 months, man.
4 months.
Yeah, man.
And that is the first time that you haven't seen someone that you've been together with since 14 in that period of time.
Yeah,
that's like what, 24 years.
And you know, we cool. You know, she's the best girl in the world, great mother, and still a good friend, but. You know, so because we just weren't ever together anymore, and I still had so much I wanted to apologize for and things I wanted to, you know, take responsibility for. So that's pretty much what the album's about. But I also want to wish her well, and let her know that, you know, she's a great person and she deserves to have a good life. So it's not all a negative album.
Don't talk like that, man. You're making me tear up, man. You can't talk like that. We like you guys together. You
He sounds like he's being a realist right now.
This sounds final.
No, the album is, you know, exactly what happens when you lose, you know, the love of your life and you're trying to figure it out in your head. You know, how am I going to get, you know, move on, get through it all.
I want to ask you a really hard question.
Sure.
Is there a part of your mind that ever thinks, as incredibly hard as it would be to say goodbye to this relationship, although you'd always have a relationship, you share a child.
Of course, we got the boy.
Which is sort of a nice thing. Is there a part of you that thinks that there are things, because the relationship started when you were so young, that would be for the best if the relationship didn't resume?
Well, I think, yeah, maybe. I think you know, sometimes that this works out. If you've been together that long, you kind of became adults together instead of being adults and then meeting. You know, so maybe a year or two off, maybe we'll become our own people without each other, and then you know it'll all.
And you could be healthy
and
be more stable.
Yeah.
Someone once told me a thing about if you're two trees, if both trees are straight, you grow beautifully and straight together. But if both of the trees are leaning into each other, they end up getting wrapped around each other and kind of fucked up.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's very good. Yeah, mine turned into a boat. And sailed way off into a whole other place.
So were you able to still, obviously the irony in all this shit is that it all happened sort of after the biggest success of your career.
Yeah, you know, which is crazy. I mean, last year's really just kind of a blur in many ways. Not to use, no pun intended. It is though, and everything happens so fast, you know. And you know, you dream of that level of success, and then it happens, and you don't realize. You know, all of the things that come with it, you know.
Were you able to still have fun in some of those moments?
Oh, yeah, a little too much.
Okay.
That's why we're here.
That's
why we're here, friends.
Okay. So you did still have some good time.
So and all of them with her, you know, it just, you know, we had an amazing time together, but I just think right now this is what's best as adults for our child and ourselves, you know.
I guess well, I'm watching you talk, and I've hung out with you and Paula before.
Yeah.
We partied together, had drinks, and you guys have a good time. And I guess I also know that the part of your relationship too, where she was your rock when music wasn't working for you.
Well,
Like when you were just a songwriter and
Yeah.
you first got signed and you're riding your bike through the city with the long hair. A lot of people don't remember that.
Well, the thing is, I had written and produced for so many other artists before I ever released my own. So I was always able to pay the bills and have a living, But when the first album didn't sell a lot of records, that was what my second album, The Evolution of Robin Thicke, was about me spiritually, trying to believe in myself, believe in my music, and she was of course my rock through all that. I paid for her acting lessons, and hooked her up. So her and I did everything together. Everything we have right now, we built together.
Lord, it's breaking your heart, right, Laura? It's breaking your heart. God.
I've read a couple people say it's not fair for Robin to dedicate this album to Paula. It's almost as if he's forcing her. And she's under like the microscope. Answer. You have to get back with him. Give him an answer.
No, that's
How does she feel about the album?
She doesn't. Well, she hasn't heard it. She's only heard a few songs, but and I don't think she wants to hear it right now. I think she probably. I can't speak for her, but I think space, is an important part of any healing process. So.
Is that still your ring though?
What'd you say?
Is the ring you're wearing your wedding ring?
No, I don't know what this is.
That's a monstrosity. It's a serious ring.
It's shiny.
You could body someone with that. One thing I found that was interesting during Robin's whole run last time over after Blurred Lines was that, for example, I loved getting to hear you on Howard, right? I'm a huge Howard fan, right? But it's a double thing that's interesting because one, he got some great stuff out of Robin, some stuff that I'd never heard before. But then simultaneously, Howard has a tendency, and he's like my hero, but he doesn't know a lot about our world. So he was speaking to Robin in a way of like as if he had no success. Like he didn't know. Like, I wanted to be like, he'd been doing like the Garden Theater for years and years, like 6,000 people. So was that weird when a lot of people were like, you're this brand new star, but in the black music world, you've been a star for years?
Oh yeah. That's what everything changed is when you have a number one worldwide pop song, it's 8-year-old white kids and 70-year-old white ladies walking up to you, you know what I mean? I was like, that was new for me because my audience had, mostly was African American.
And it's been with you.
Career, yeah.
Since the first album. I mean, I was obsessed with the Evolution of Robin Thicke.
That was a good album.
Amazing album.
That was a good one.
Amazing album. This album that you got right now, Paula on the Shelves, you guys download it, get it off iTunes. I went through it earlier. I really, I'm stuck. There was this one song that you wrote on here. It's called The Opposite of Me.
Yeah.
Track 12.
Yeah.
And I bring that up, because in the song you talk about how your woman wants something that you're not.
Right.
And
she wants the truth.
But that to me says that you've been lying. Like you.
Yeah.
What were you lying? Like, were you lying about who you are? Were you lying about specific actions? Was it all the above? Like,
I'm a man. I messed up and I had to lie for a while, and then I stopped lying, and that was actually good for me because I was tired of lying. So this whole album is me revealing everything.
Wow, man.
Yeah,
that's a lot. This reminds me of?
This is heavy, man.
You know what it reminds me of? From a music standpoint, if you could remove yourself from the personal anguish, but from a musical standpoint, oh God, and not to bring up someone who's been a sore subject in other ways, but it reminds me of Marvin Gaye, "Here, My Dear."
Yeah.
In this sort of artistic moment where your real life is put into this body of work.
I think the only thing that's different about this album is that it's never her fault.
Right. In his case, it's a little.
The entire album is him taking responsibility.
Right. Of course.
And in real life, relationships aren't like that. But at this point in our relationship, the only reason we're not together is because of the choices that I made.
So you said, this is the quintessential thing that you hear from men, what you're going through.
Yeah.
By the way, we're talking to Robin Thicke about Paula Patton, in case you didn't know.
Robin Thicke is here, and you hear men say it all the time. I didn't know what I had. You don't know what you have until it's gone.
Oh, I knew exactly what I had.
You knew exactly what you had.
Yeah.
And you still effed it up.
Yeah, buddy.
But why?
Why are we?
That's
so
what women are. What she's saying is she can't even. She's perplexed.
It just hurts, and to me, I don't know. Explain to me why. Like, if you know you have something so amazing at home, why risk it?
Well, it's not that simple. After 20 years, you know what I mean. It didn't work for 20 years because, it wasn't right. It was right. It's just sometimes people grow apart. It's not. You don't build love in a day, and you don't lose it in a day. You know.
Yeah, that's the thing. When things, first of all, men are already tempted. A couple things you have to clear up here. All men, even losers with nothing going on in their life, are trying to bang other chicks or want to. Then there are guys like Rob and Thicke who have a ton of options. Then you're having issues in your marriage, you're growing apart, mixed with tons of options, mixed with the fact that all men, if we had our choice, would have sex with lots of women. There's a million things that make this very difficult. You know what I'm saying? I just relate to it as a guy, and I guess I've been through nothing like this, a 20-year relationship and a child, but I've lost relationships over the fact that I wanted to be with more women, and it's
even
easy
you
to
right
happen.
now, even you right now, Rosenberg.
But let's not make it as plain as you know that's what the issue was.
That's the only thing.
That's not why we're apart. We're apart because we just couldn't be together anymore for a while. You know, there's 100 different reasons. There isn't just one. There's a long list.
But you still put the brunt of it on you.
Because I changed and I got a little too selfish, a little too greedy, a little too full of myself. So
it's humbling.
Very. When you lose your family, that'll slow you down.
Yeah, Rosenberg. So stop wearing sunglasses inside. You went to 1 BET Awards. Stop.
Sat in row X. I
sat in the last row.
Right? I couldn't even see Robin. I thought it was Justin Timberlake. I was like, what's Justin Timberlake so sad for? Now, by the way, did you hear Chris Rock's joke about you?
No, what did he say?
As you were walking off stage?
No.
Oh, you didn't hear it?
No.
I don't want to tell you now.
Because I got a good laugh.
Oh, I got a good laugh. So you're still there at the piano walking off all somberly, and Chris Rock's like, God damn, he sounds like Paula doesn't even know him. Then he made another joke, which was crazy, which is crazy.
He went Chris Rock on it and went a little too far. Well, go ahead, Rosenberg.
You want to hear the next part?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, please.
Then he goes, what happened to the song he did that sounded like Marvin Gaye? And people who know music are kind of like, ooh. And then he goes, that song sounded like so much like Marvin Gaye. I thought Marvin Gaye's father was going to shoot him in the face.
Too far. Too far.
Too far.
But that's Chris Rock. And then he turned to the crowd and he goes, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, he did. He was just out there. Now, hold on.
Chris,
Speaking of which, I don't know if this is something I didn't ask them or we're not supposed to ask about. Are you cleared up with that bullshit with the song?
They're still finishing all that. I don't care about stuff like that.
And what about you and Pharrell? Are you and Pharrell good? Like I heard that things got kind of weird over that song and production. Everything's straight with you guys.
Oh yeah, that's family. Yeah.
Okay, for life.
Oh yeah.
And are you still on Star Trek?
Oh, that Star Trek.
Yeah.
That Star Trek logo's right there, my
right
friend.
there, yeah.
That Star Trek logo's.
Talk about it.
So how happy are you for the year that guy's had?
Oh my God! I mean, honestly, nobody deserves it more than him. I mean, he's always been a forward thinker, an incredible songwriter, musician. He's a great family man. He's a great family friend. Like nobody deserves the success more than Pharrell Williams.
It's so crazy when you think about it that Robin goes to this place with blurred lines that you're like, oh my God, who would have thought Robin was always our guy? Now
here comes Pharrell.
And then Pharrell does the same thing. Like that song made two careers go to two great careers already.
Yeah.
Go to a totally different level.
Even T.I. jumps out every now and then and stands next to Pharrell and Robin Thicke. That guy's living.
Well, you know what was great? I mean, for all three of us is, we had all been a little quiet there for a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that video, it was the most played visual all across the world last year. So for the three of our faces, we were just plastered everywhere. It was just a huge break. And T.I.'s an amazing guy, great friend, and I couldn't have gotten lucky to celebrate that with two such special people.
Robin, you're in the most interesting place as I watch you talk and sip champagne and celebrate an album coming out, as well as deal with pain and change in your life. Like, how are you balancing that? Because I know when there's loss, it's peaks and valleys. It's a roller coaster.
The alcohol helps.
We're not gonna have to send you to see anybody, are we? Are you somebody's got you in check, or
no? I'm more from the the old school Dean Martin. They don't come to see me. I don't need to go to see them. They come to see me, baby.
You don't believe in the couch? You don't believe in the couch?
Therapy, no couch, no
therapy.
Oh man, my music is my therapy. Everything that when I make these songs and I listen back to them, they make me feel good about myself, because at least I'm admitting my faults. I'm trying to become a better man, better person, better father, and that's what I have have to do right now.
Now, how's your son? How old is he now?
He's my best friend, my road dog, and luckily my career offers me enough time to really be a father.
Was he 5, 4? How old is he?
4.
4 years old.
4, yeah.
Is he showing any signs of getting on that piano yet?
Oh man,
seeing anything?
The funny thing is that when I was making this album, I was writing a song a day. Like I made the whole album in like 3 weeks. So every day I'd come home and I'd have a new song, and then so now he'll be like, "Daddy, I'm gonna go to my room and write 100 songs now, Daddy." I'd be like, "Dude, you don't have to write 100. Just get one good one, right?" It's like, no, I think 100 songs would be good. I'll write 100, and then this one, and then now he hears me on the phone and stuff, so he'll be like, "Daddy, this one is for radio and this is for the album."
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now he's already picking singles and everything.
One thing that always brings a smile, at least to our faces, if not yours, but I think yours too, is hearing about your dad.
Yeah.
Any good sage advice from the words of Alan Thicke?
Yes, actually, this is my favorite. My favorite new Alan Thicke quote is I don't know if you guys seen the new video with the texting.
Yes, I have.
With
Yes.
the texting
Yes.
messages and stuff. So my dad calls me. He says, "I just saw your new video. Boy, do you have a pair of balls. You have enormous balls, my son. I would never do anything like it. I admire it. I'm scared. I love it. I hate it. I fear for your life. You're putting it all out there, but you got a huge pair, buddy."
Was he like blown away by the last year? Was that like a different level? The level of fame?
Yeah. I mean, for him, it was he got to enjoy it all, and we all did. I think. That's the thing, is that it's so hard for people who don't know, who aren't in our house, to know that the album and us breaking up, it has nothing to do with the success. You know what I mean? It just can't, or what happened last year. It's just two people that just wasn't working anymore.
How is she with your parents right now?
And I've always been the kind of person who wants to admit his faults so I can improve as a human being, and so it's like being an alcoholic or something. You got to first be able to say, I got problems, and so that this album is dedicated to her, but it's really half of it's about my problems
and you getting your shit together
and me getting certain things together so I can be the kind of man that I want it to be.
Are your parents and her good?
Oh yeah, all of our families are still, very much in love.
You come over for dinner, and they look at you like a douchebag.
No. Oh no, I invite her mom over for dinner, and we have dinners together. And I mean, we've been.
Well, you're like her kid too.
Yeah, I mean, the whole family. She'll take the kid to visit my uncle and aunt, but right now we just don't hang out. You know what I mean?
Got it. Hey, thanks so much for being so forthcoming about all this stuff.
Yeah. It's on the
album.
I mean,
I guess you know what? It's out there.
It's pretty much on the album. Yeah, it's like my dad said, man. It's out there now, buddy.
It's out there. So.
Robin Thicke, ladies and gentlemen, get the album Paula in stores right now. Oh, baby.